Captain stared at the screen in the dark control room. Something was wrong. The sensors showed ships appearing at the edge of the solar system. Big ships, alien ships. He had been watching the stars for 15 years, and this was the moment everyone feared. "How many?" he asked. 43 vessels, replied the junior officer next to him. Her hands shook as she checked the numbers again. "They're huge, sir. Much bigger than anything we've built." Nodded slowly. He reached for the red communication button he hoped he would never have to press. "Send the alert to Earth Command. Tell them we have visitors, and they don't look friendly." Far below on Earth, Ambassador was sleeping when her phone rang. She grabbed it quickly, her heart already racing. Calls at 3 in the morning were never good news. The voice on the other end was calm but serious. "Ambassador, you need to come to the UN headquarters immediately. We have a situation." 30 minutes later, walked into a room full of worried faces. Generals, politicians, scientists, everyone who mattered was there. On the big screen at the front, she could see the alien ships. They looked like giant metal insects, dark and threatening against the stars. "They've sent us a message," said General Han. He was an old soldier with gray hair and tired eyes. "You need to hear this." The screen changed. An alien face appeared. It had 4 eyes, blue skin, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. When it spoke, the computer translated its words into different languages. "Humans of Earth," the alien said. Its voice was cold and proud. "I am Fleet Commander of the Empire. You are a primitive species. Your planet has resources we need. You have no choice. Surrender now. Give us control of your world. If you refuse, we will destroy your cities one by one. You have 72 hours to decide." The message ended. The room was silent, felt anger rising in her chest. She had spent years studying alien civilizations from afar. Earth had hidden observation posts scattered through the solar system, watching and learning. They knew about the Galactic Council, the group of alien species that controlled most of the galaxy. They knew these aliens thought humans were weak and stupid. "They think we're easy targets," said quietly. "They're wrong," General Han replied. He looked at the others in the room. "Send the signal. Activate all defense protocols. It's time to show them what humans can do." On Mars base, Commander received the activation code. He had been waiting for this moment his entire career. The base wasn't just a research station. It was a weapons platform, hidden under the red dust of Mars. For 20 years, Earth had been preparing for this day. "Open the doors," ordered. "Power up all systems. Get the online." Around him, his team moved quickly. They had trained for this. Every person knew their job. The base came alive with light and sound. Hidden panels slid open across the Martian surface. Weapons that looked like simple communication towers rose up, pointing toward the alien fleet. "Sir, the enemy ships are moving," someone reported. "They're heading toward Earth." Smiled, it wasn't a happy smile. "Let them come. They'll learn soon enough." Back on Earth, the world was changing fast. For the first time in history, every nation worked together. Old enemies forgot their differences. Russia, America, China, India, Europe, Africa, South America, everyone united under one command. General Han stood at the center of it all, coordinating the global defense network. "How long until they reach Earth?" he asked. 18 hours, came the answer. "Good, that gives us time." Han pulled up maps on his screen. "Position all aircraft carriers here and here. Move the submarines into deep water. Get every fighter jet ready. And someone wake up Dr. Myra. I need her weapons ready." Dr. Myra was already awake. She hadn't slept since the alert came. She stood in a secret laboratory deep underground, checking her work one more time. Around her were weapons that looked strange and brutal. While aliens used energy beams and shields, Myra had focused on something simpler but more deadly: kinetic weapons. Simple physics. Mass times velocity equals destruction. "Will they work?" asked her assistant. "They'll work," Myra said. She touched one of the long metal rods that would be fired from orbit. The aliens have shields designed to stop energy weapons. But these, she smiled, these are just metal moving very, very fast. Their shields can't stop solid matter at this speed. The hours passed slowly. Around the world, people watched the sky with fear and hope. Children were sent to underground shelters. Soldiers took their positions. Pilots climbed into their aircraft, knowing they might not return. Captain watched from his station as the alien fleet got closer. He could see them clearly now on his sensors. 43 ships, each one carrying enough firepower to destroy a city. They moved in a tight formation, confident and proud. "They're not even trying to hide," said. "They think we're no threat at all." "Should we fire?" asked his weapons officer. "Not yet. Wait for General Hand's order. Let them get closer. Let them feel safe." On the flagship, Fleet Commander relaxed in his chair. This was his 5th conquest this year. Earth would be easy. He had studied these humans. They had nuclear weapons, but those were primitive. They had no energy shields, no plasma cannons, no jump drives. They couldn't even leave their own solar system. "How much longer?" he asked. "We'll reach firing range in 2 hours," his navigator replied. The fleet commander laughed. "Good. After we finish here, the Galactic Council will have to respect us. We'll show them the Empire can conquer worlds just as well as the old species." He had no idea what was waiting for him. Ambassador stood at the UN headquarters looking at a picture of Earth from space. It was beautiful, blue and green and white, floating in the darkness. This was home. This was worth fighting for. General Han appeared beside her. "Are you ready?" he asked. "Are any of us ready?" replied. "We're about to fight aliens from space. This is insane." "Maybe," Han said, "but we're human. Insane is what we do best." He checked his watch. "The fleet will be in range soon. Commander is ready on Mars. Dr. Myra's weapons are loaded. Every soldier on Earth is waiting for my order." Took a deep breath, "Then give it." Han nodded. He picked up the communicator and spoke clearly. "All units, this is General Han. The enemy is approaching. They think we're weak. They think we're afraid. They think we'll surrender without a fight." He paused. "Let's show them they're wrong. Defend Earth. That's an order." Around the world, around the solar system, humans responded. Weapons powered up. Ships moved into position. And 43 alien vessels flew straight into a trap they never saw coming. The war had begun. The fleet entered Earth's atmosphere like dark clouds. Fleet Commander watched his screens with satisfaction. The planet below looked peaceful. No weapons fired at them. No defense ships rose to meet them. The humans were probably hiding in their holes, trembling with fear. "Begin the bombardment," he ordered. "Target their major cities first. That will make them surrender quickly." But before his weapons officer could fire, alarms started screaming throughout the ship. Red lights flashed everywhere. "What's happening?" Fleet Commander shouted. "Sir, we're being targeted. Multiple weapons locks from," the officer's voice died in his throat. "From everywhere." High above the planet, Commander pressed a button. "Fire all." The Mars base unleashed hell. 20 massive fired at once. They didn't shoot energy beams or missiles. They fired solid tungsten rods, each one weighing 2 tons, accelerated to incredible speeds. The rods moved so fast they glowed white-hot. The ships activated their energy shields. Those shields could stop any laser, any plasma blast, any energy weapon in the galaxy. They were the best technology the aliens had. The tungsten rods hit them like hammers hitting glass. The shields flickered and died. The rods punched through the alien hulls, passing completely through the ships and out the other side. 3 vessels exploded immediately. 5 more began spinning out of control, their engines destroyed. "Impossible," Fleet Commander screamed. "Their weapons shouldn't be able to penetrate our shields." On Earth, General Han watched the results with grim satisfaction. "Dr. Myra, your weapons work perfectly. Continue firing." Dr. Myra stood in her underground command center directing the attack. All orbital platforms fire at will. Remember, these aren't energy weapons. Aim for the center mass. Physics does the rest. Hidden platforms all around Earth opened fire. More tungsten rods shot into space. More alien ships died. They tried to return fire, but their weapons needed time to charge and aim. The human weapons just needed to point and shoot. Change formation, Fleet Commander ordered. Spread out, find the human weapons and destroy them. But that's when the second wave hit them. From Earth's surface, hundreds of anti-ship missiles launched. These weren't like the nuclear weapons humans had used before. These were new, designed specifically to fight in space. They were fast, smart, and there were so many of them that the alien point defense systems couldn't stop them all. Pilot Sung sat in the cockpit of his fighter jet, watching his radar screen. He commanded a squadron of 20 aircraft, all of them modified to fight at high altitude. They had been practicing for this mission for 5 years. Blue Squadron, this is Sung. Enemy ships are descending over the Pacific. Let's go introduce ourselves. Copy that, sir, his wingman replied. Time to show these aliens how humans fly. Sung pushed his throttle forward. His jet screamed through the sky, climbing higher and higher. Around him, his squadron followed. They had trained together so long they could almost read each other's minds. The ships were huge compared to the human jets. Each one was bigger than a skyscraper. But size wasn't everything. The human jets were small, fast, and incredibly maneuverable. They danced through the air like birds, while the alien ships moved like floating bricks. Lock missiles, Sung ordered. Target their engines. Fire on my mark. 3, 2, 1 mark. 20 missiles launched at once. The ship they targeted tried to evade, but it was too slow. Explosions blossomed along its hull. The ship started falling, trailing smoke and fire. Good hit, Sung's wingman shouted. Look at it go down. But Sung wasn't celebrating yet. Stay sharp, watch for return fire. The aliens finally started fighting back. Energy beams cut through the air, so bright they hurt to look at. 2 human jets exploded. Sung felt anger burn in his chest. Those were his pilots, his friends. All units evasive pattern Delta, he ordered. Make yourselves hard to hit. Use the clouds. Use the terrain. These bastards want to fight. Let's give them one they'll never forget. The human pilots scattered, breaking formation and flying unpredictably. The aliens couldn't track them. Their weapons were designed for fighting other ships in space, not small fast aircraft doing impossible maneuvers. One alien gunner would aim, but by the time he fired, the human jet was somewhere else entirely. More explosions lit up the sky. More alien ships fell, but humans were dying too. Jets crashed. Ships exploded. Brave men and women gave their lives to protect their world. On the flagship, Fleet Commander finally understood the truth. These humans weren't primitive. They were deadly. His fleet was being torn apart by an enemy he had completely underestimated. Retreat, he shouted. All ships retreat to orbit, get out of their range. His ships tried to climb back into space, but Commander was ready. Don't let them escape. Target their engines. If they run, we chase them. The Mars base fired again. This time they aimed for the ships trying to flee. More vessels died. Some made it to orbit, but they were damaged and scared. After 4 hours of fighting, the battle ended. The fleet had lost 17 ships completely destroyed. Another 12 were heavily damaged. The survivors limped away from Earth, their confidence shattered. Fleet Commander sat in his damaged command chair, staring at the reports. He had started the day with 43 ships. Now he had fewer than 30 that could still fight properly, and all of it had happened in just 4 hours. Get me a communication channel to the Galactic Council, he said quietly. His pride was gone. Now he just felt fear. They need to know the truth about Earth. What should I tell them, sir? His communications officer asked. Fleet Commander looked at the planet below, that beautiful blue and green world that had just destroyed his fleet. Tell them Earth is not what we thought. Tell them these humans are dangerous. Tell them, he paused. Tell them to send reinforcements, many reinforcements. On Earth, General Han watched the alien ships retreat. Around him, his command center erupted in cheers. People hugged each other. Some cried with relief. They had done it. They had driven off an alien invasion. But Han didn't celebrate. He looked at the casualty reports. 237 human pilots and soldiers dead, 8 orbital platforms destroyed, 17 cities damaged by alien weapons that got through their defenses. Ambassador appeared beside him. "We won," she said. "We survived the first battle," Han corrected her. "But this isn't over. That fleet commander is calling for help. More aliens will come, stronger ones, better prepared ones." "Then we'll beat them too," said firmly. Han nodded slowly. "Maybe, but we need to be ready." He turned to his officers. "I want all damaged platforms repaired immediately. Build more weapons, train more pilots, and get Dr. Myra working on new surprises. The aliens know about our kinetic weapons now. We need something they won't expect." Dr. Myra was already thinking about that. She stood among her weapons, her mind racing. The tungsten rods had worked perfectly, but the aliens would adapt. They would find ways to defend against them. "What else do we have that they don't?" she asked herself. Then she smiled. "Everything. We have everything they don't. We've spent thousands of years fighting each other. We know war. They've forgotten how." She started drawing new plans, new weapons, new ideas. The aliens had technology, but humans had something better, creativity born from necessity, desperation that drove innovation, and the absolute refusal to give up. Captain watched the alien fleet retreat on his screens. He should have felt relief. Instead, he felt worried. The aliens had underestimated Earth once. They wouldn't make that mistake again. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission from the retreating fleet," his communications officer said. "It's not directed at us. They're calling someone else." "Play it," ordered. The alien commander's voice came through, translated by their computers. "Galactic Council, this is Fleet Commander of the Empire. Earth has defeated our fleet. I repeat, Earth has defeated us. They are not a primitive species. They are armed and dangerous. We need immediate military support. We need." The transmission ended. Felt a chill run down his spine. The Galactic Council, they're going to bring the whole council down on us. "What do we do, sir?" Thought for a moment, then he smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. "We prepare for round 2, and this time we don't wait for them to come to us." The Galactic Council met in their grand chamber, a massive room floating in space. Representatives from 47 different species sat in their designated seats, arguing with each other. Council Chair, a tall being with silver skin and 3 arms, tried to maintain order. "Silence," his voice boomed. "We have received disturbing news from the fleet. They attempted to claim Earth as a tributary world. They failed." The chamber erupted in shocked whispers. A species called the, known for their military strength, spoke up. "Failed? How does a fleet of 43 warships fail against a species without jump drive technology?" Activated a hologram. It showed the battle over Earth, human weapons destroying ships with impossible efficiency. The council members watched in disbelief. "This cannot be accurate," said another representative. "These humans should not be able to defeat our technology." "And yet they did," said coldly. "The lost 17 ships, the survivors barely escaped. The question now is, what do we do about it?" On Earth, Colonel Jinnah worked in a secret facility examining captured alien technology. During the battle, 3 fighters had crash-landed mostly intact. Now humans had their hands on actual alien machines. "This is incredible," Jinnah said, carefully opening a panel on one of the alien ships. "Their technology is advanced, but it's also predictable." Predictable? Asked her assistant. Jenna nodded. Look at this. Everything is automated. The weapons systems, the navigation, the shields, all controlled by computers. There's no manual override, no backup systems. If you disable the computer, the whole ship is helpless. She pulled out a circuit board covered in strange alien symbols. And these weapons, they're powerful, but they take time to charge. They're designed for long-range ship-to-ship combat, not for fighting small, fast targets. So we can beat them. We can beat them because they've forgotten how to fight, Jenna explained. They've been the strongest species in the galaxy for so long that they've gotten lazy. They rely on their superior technology. But we humans, we've never had superior technology. We've had to be clever. We've had to adapt. We've had to fight dirty, she smiled. And now we know their weaknesses. Meanwhile, Engineer led a different team working on something even more important, the jump drive from one of the captured ships. This was the technology that allowed aliens to travel faster than light. This was what humans needed most. Can we replicate it? General Han asked, visiting the lab. Shook her head. Not yet. It would take us years to fully understand this technology. Maybe decades, she paused, but we don't need to replicate it. What do you mean? We can't build a jump drive, explained. But we can use the ones we've captured, and better yet, we can weaponize them. She pulled up designs on her computer. A jump drive creates a bubble in space-time. It moves a ship from one location to another instantly. But what if we made that bubble unstable? What if we made it collapse in a specific way? Han started to understand. You could create a weapon. A bomb that tears a hole in space, confirmed. It would be devastating, and the aliens would never see it coming because they would never think to weaponize their own travel technology. General Han smiled. I knew I liked you. How long do you need? 48 hours, maybe less. You have 24. The Galactic Council is preparing another fleet. They'll be here soon. Back at the UN headquarters, Ambassador prepared a message. General Han had given her a risky mission. She was going to address the Galactic Council directly. Are you sure about this? Asked her aide. No, admitted. But we need to buy time. If we can make them hesitate even for a few days, it gives our scientists more time to prepare. She activated the communication system. Using frequencies captured from the ships, she broadcast a message toward the known location of the Galactic Council. Galactic Council, this is Ambassador of Earth. We know you are discussing our planet. We know you consider us primitive. We know you plan to send ships to punish us for defending our home. She paused for effect. This is your only warning. Turn back. Leave our solar system. We do not want war, but we will not surrender. Attack us again and you will regret it. The message ended, sat back, her heart pounding. Now we wait. In the Galactic Council chamber, this message played on the hologram. Most of the council members laughed. The arrogance, one representative exclaimed. They dare to threaten us. They should be begging for mercy, another agreed. But Council Chair didn't laugh. He watched the message carefully. There was something in the human ambassador's eyes, not fear, not desperation, confidence, that worried him. Regardless of their warnings, we must respond, the representative said. If we allow one primitive species to defy us, others will follow. Our authority will crumble. Agreed, said reluctantly. We will send a combined fleet. 3 species, 20 ships each, 60 warships total. Surely even these unusual humans cannot defeat such a force. And if they do, asked a small voice from the back. They won't, said firmly, but inside he wasn't sure. Admiral Wu stood in Earth's primary space command center, studying maps of the solar system. He was younger than General Han, but just as experienced. His specialty was naval warfare, and now space was just another ocean to him. The aliens will come in force this time, he told his officers. They'll be careful. They'll expect our kinetic weapons. We need to surprise them again. "How, sir?" asked his second-in-command. Wu pointed at the asteroid belt. "We have ships hidden here, small ships carrying engineers' new weapons. We let the alien fleet enter the solar system. We let them feel confident. Then we hit them from inside their own formation." "That's insane, sir. How do we get ships inside their formation?" "By jumping there," Wu said. "S team has been working all night. They've adapted 3 of our ships with the captured jump drives. It's dangerous. It might kill our crews, but if it works, we'll materialize in the middle of the enemy fleet before they can react." His officers looked at each other nervously. This was risky. This was crazy. "I need volunteers," Wu said. "Crews willing to pilot these ships on a one-way trip. People who understand they might not come home." Every officer in the room raised their hand. 3 days later, the Galactic Council's combined fleet arrived at the edge of Earth's solar system. 60 massive warships, representing the and the species. 3 different military traditions, 3 different weapon systems, all working together. Fleet commander of the commanded the operation. He was a veteran of 100 campaigns, and he didn't underestimate anyone. "Deploy scouts. Scan for weapons platforms. Advance slowly. These humans are clever. Expect traps." His fleet moved forward carefully, watching for the kinetic weapons that had destroyed the. They scanned every moon, every asteroid, every possible hiding place. "Sir, we're not detecting any human ships," his sensor officer reported. "No orbital platforms, no hidden weapons. It's like they've abandoned the system." Frowned, "That didn't make sense. Keep scanning, they're here somewhere." On Mars base, Commander watched the approaching fleet on his screens. He had orders not to fire. Not yet. Let them come closer. Let them wonder where the humans were hiding. "Sir, they're almost in range," his weapons officer said nervously. "Shouldn't we fire?" "Not yet," said calmly. "Admiral Wu has a plan. We trust the plan." In orbit around Earth, 3 small human ships waited. Each ship had a crew of 5. Each crew knew they were probably going to die, but they also knew they might save their world. Captain commanded one of these ships. He looked at his crew, young men and women who had volunteered for this mission. "Ready?" he asked. "Ready, sir," they replied. "Then let's show these aliens what humans do best." Activated the captured jump drive. "Engineering, how's our drive looking?" "Unstable, sir. Could explode at any moment." "Perfect. That's exactly what we want." Entered coordinates directly in the center of the alien fleet. "Jump in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1." Space twisted. Reality bent. And 3 small human ships disappeared from Earth's orbit, reappearing seconds later in the middle of 60 alien warships. "Surprise," whispered. Then he activated every weapon his ship had and opened fire at point-blank range. The Council fleet suddenly found enemies inside their formation. Chaos erupted. Ships tried to turn, to aim, to respond. But the human ships were already moving, already firing, already causing havoc. Admiral Wu watched from his command center and smiled. "Now, all ships attack from the flanks. Show them what we've prepared." Hidden ships emerged from the asteroid belt, from behind moons, from the far side of the sun. The human fleet wasn't big, only 30 ships, but they moved like sharks, fast and deadly, targeting the confused alien vessels. Council Fleet Commander realized too late that he had fallen into a trap. The humans hadn't fled. They had been waiting. "All ships return fire," he ordered. But his fleet was in disarray, some ships almost shooting their own allies in the confusion. And in the center of it all, Captain's ship completed its mission. The weaponized jump drive reached critical mass. "It's been an honor," told his crew. Then the ship exploded, tearing a hole in space itself, and taking 6 alien vessels with it into the void. The space around Earth lit up with explosions. Captain's sacrifice had destroyed 6 alien ships instantly, and the shockwave damaged a dozen more. The remaining Council fleet tried to reorganize, but the human ships gave them no chance to recover. Admiral Wu watched the battle unfold with cold calculation. All carriers, launch fighters. I want every pilot in space within 5 minutes. Pilot Sung was already in his cockpit, this time in a space-modified fighter. His squadron had been training for zero-gravity combat, learning to fight where there was no up or down, where momentum was everything. "Blue Squadron, form on me," Sung ordered. "We're going after their carriers. If we can destroy their fighter bays, they can't launch reinforcements." His squadron shot forward, 20 fighters moving in perfect formation. They were small targets, hard to hit with the aliens' big ship weapons. The aliens tried to shoot them with point-defense guns, but Sung and his pilots flew in patterns they had practiced 1,000 times. "Break and attack," Sung called. His squadron scattered, each pilot choosing a target. Missiles streaked through the void. Explosions blossomed against alien hulls. Sung targeted a carrier, one of the largest ships in the enemy fleet. It was massive, armored, and deadly, but it was also slow. Sung flew straight at it, his hands steady on the controls. Come on," he whispered. "Almost there." The alien ship fired its defensive weapons. Energy beams cut through space, missing Sung by meters. He didn't flinch. He kept flying, kept aiming. At the last second, he fired all his missiles at once and pulled up hard. The missiles struck the carrier's fighter bay just as alien fighters were launching. The explosion chain-reacted through the entire bay. Secondary explosions ripped through the ship. It didn't destroy the carrier completely, but it crippled it. "Target damaged," Sung reported. "They won't be launching any more fighters from that ship." "Good work, Blue Squadron," Admiral Wu replied. "All units, the enemy is confused. Press the advantage. Don't give them time to think." On the flagship, Fleet Commander struggled to understand what was happening. His sensors showed human ships everywhere. How did a primitive species have this many vessels? Where had they been hiding? "Status report," he demanded. 6 ships destroyed by that strange weapon. The one that tore space apart, his officer reported. 12 more ships heavily damaged. We're detecting human fighters inside our formation. Our carriers are under attack. And sir, we're receiving reports that human ships have appeared behind us. They're cutting off our retreat. Felt something he hadn't felt in years, genuine fear. How are they doing this? How do they have jump drive technology? "Unknown, sir, but they're using it against us." Made a quick decision. "All ships, tight formation. We'll fight our way through these humans and then retreat. Signal the council, tell them we need more ships, many more ships." But Admiral Wu had planned for this too. "They're clustering together. Perfect. Hit them with the Myra Special." Dr. Myra's latest weapons weren't tungsten rods this time. They were drones, thousands of small, smart drones that could swarm an enemy ship. Each drone carried a small explosive charge. One drone wouldn't do much damage, but 1,000 drones hitting a ship at the same time, that was different. The drones launched from hidden platforms throughout the solar system. They looked like clouds of metal insects, swarming toward the alien fleet. The aliens tried to shoot them down, but there were too many. For every drone destroyed, 10 more got through. The drones hit the alien shields, but shields were designed to stop big weapons, missiles, energy beams, large projectiles. Small objects could slip through. The drones attached themselves to the alien hulls and exploded. It was like watching termites attack a wooden house. One bite didn't matter, but thousands of bites. The alien ships started falling apart, their armor pierced in hundreds of places, their systems failing. "This is madness," shouted. "What kind of species fights like this?" His communications officer had an answer. "Sir, I've been studying the human broadcasts. They've been fighting each other for thousands of years. They've perfected warfare. They know every dirty trick, every brutal tactic. They don't fight for honor or glory. They fight to win." Commander led a special operations team on one of the human boarding ships. While the space battle raged, he had a different mission. His team was going to board an alien vessel. "This is crazy," one of his soldiers said. "Aliens don't do boarding actions anymore." "Exactly," replied. "They've forgotten how to fight inside their own ships. We haven't." He checked his rifle one more time. "Remember your training, move fast, clear each room, take prisoners if possible, but don't take chances." Their small ship attached to a damaged destroyer. His team cut through the hull with plasma torches and poured inside. The aliens inside were completely unprepared. They had weapons, but they were designed for long-range fighting. In the narrow corridors of their own ship, the humans had the advantage. His team moved like they were clearing a building back on Earth, fast, efficient, deadly. "Room clear," one soldier called. "Next room," ordered. They fought their way through the ship, deck by deck. The aliens tried to stop them but didn't know how. They had forgotten what close-quarters combat was like. The humans hadn't. Within 30 minutes, his team had captured the bridge. The alien captain stared at them in shock. You boarded our ship," the captain said through a translator. "No one has boarded a ship in 500 years." Smiled coldly. "Welcome to how humans fight. Now order your crew to surrender or we'll take the ship the hard way." The alien captain, faced with armed soldiers in his own command center, had no choice. He surrendered. Across the battlefield, similar scenes played out. Human teams boarded 3 more alien ships. Each time, the aliens couldn't comprehend what was happening. Space battles were supposed to be ship to ship. Clean. Distant. Not this brutal, personal combat in their own corridors. Fleet Commander watched his fleet falling apart and made the hardest decision of his life. "All ships, retreat. Full retreat. Get us out of this system." But retreating was harder than he thought. The human ships had positioned themselves perfectly. Every route of escape was covered. Every path was blocked. "They've surrounded us," his navigator said quietly. "They planned this perfectly." Admiral Wu had indeed planned it perfectly. "Don't let any ship escape undamaged. I want them to carry the story back to their council. I want them to tell everyone what happened here." The alien fleet tried to break through. Some ships made it, damaged and limping. Others were destroyed. By the time the battle ended, the Council's 60-ship fleet was reduced to 37 vessels, and even those were barely functional. His flagship finally jumped away, leaving the solar system behind. He sat in his command chair, staring at nothing. His proud fleet was broken. His confidence was shattered. "Get me a communication channel to the Galactic Council," he said quietly. "Yes, sir." Took a deep breath. "Council members, this is Fleet Commander. The human species is not primitive. They are not weak. They are the most dangerous enemy I have ever faced. They fight without honor, without mercy, and without fear. They board our ships. They use weapons we've never seen. They turn our own technology against us." He paused. "If you send more ships to Earth, send an army. Send everything we have, because anything less will not be enough." On Earth, people celebrated in the streets. They had defeated 2 alien fleets. They had proven humanity could fight back, but the leaders knew better. General Han stood with Ambassador, looking at the victory reports. "We won again," he said, "but at what cost?" 347 casualties, replied. 3 of our best ships destroyed. Captain and his crew are dead. Heroes, all of them. And we've made enemies of the most powerful alliance in the galaxy," Han added. "They'll come back with more ships, better prepared. They know our tricks now." "Then we learn new tricks," said a voice behind them. Dr. Myra appeared, looking exhausted but determined. "We captured 23 alien ships. Some are barely damaged. We have their technology now. Their weapons, their shields, their jump drives. Give me time and I'll reverse engineer everything." Admiral Wu joined them. "We also have prisoners, aliens who surrendered. Commander is questioning them. We're learning about the Council, their weaknesses, their politics." And we have this, Commander said, appearing on a video screen. He held up a data crystal. Complete star charts from the captured ships. We know where the Council is. We know where their worlds are. We don't have to wait for them to come to us anymore. General Hand smiled slowly. It wasn't a kind smile. Are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting? We can't defend forever, replied. Eventually they'll overwhelm us with numbers, but if we take the fight to them, if we show them that attacking Earth means we attack back, he shrugged, maybe they'll think twice. Ambassador looked shocked. You want to invade their space? That's insane. No more insane than what we've already done, Admiral Wu said. We've beaten them twice. Let's make it 3 times, but this time on their territory. The room fell silent as everyone considered the implications. Finally, General Hand spoke. Prepare the fleet. We're going to visit the Galactic Council, and we're not asking for permission. The Galactic Council chamber was in chaos. Representatives from 47 species shouted at each other, argued, and blamed one another for the disaster at Earth. Council Chair had never seen the council so divided. Order shouted, but no one listened. Finally, he activated a sound-dampening field that silenced everyone. Enough, we must make a decision. Earth has defeated 2 of our fleets. They have captured our ships. They have stolen our technology. The question is simple, what do we do now? We send everything, the representative roared. Every ship, every weapon, we crush them completely. And if we fail again, asked the representative. We've lost over 80 ships to this one primitive world. How many more are we willing to sacrifice? They're not primitive anymore, said a quiet voice. The representative stood up. They have our jump drives now, our weapons, our shields, and worse, they know how to use them. My people lost 3 ships to boarding actions. Boarding actions. No one has boarded a ship in centuries. We've forgotten how to fight like that. They haven't. Then we negotiate, suggested we make peace. We offer them a place on the council. Never, several representatives shouted at once. While the council argued, a signal came through on all their channels. Every screen in the chamber activated at once, showing the same image, Ambassador standing in front of a human flag. Galactic Council said calmly, you don't know me, but I know you. I know your species. I know your worlds. I know your weaknesses. Earth has been watching you for decades from hidden observation posts. We learned about you before you learned about us. The council chamber fell completely silent. You've attacked Earth twice, continued. Twice you've failed. Now I'm going to do something unprecedented. I'm coming to visit you, in one of your own ships, the flagship you lost in the last battle which we captured. We've renamed it the Defiance. She paused. I'm not asking for permission. I'm informing you of my arrival. Earth is claiming its place in the galaxy, whether you like it or not. The transmission ended. She wouldn't dare, the representative said, but he didn't sound confident. 3 days later, the Defiance arrived at the Council's space station. It was indeed the captured flagship, but it had been modified. Human weapons now bristled from its hull. Human pilots flew escort ships around it, and painted on its side in letters big enough to see from space were the words, "Don't mess with Earth." General Hand commanded the ship personally. He stood on the bridge, wearing a modified human military uniform, looking very different from the formal clothes the aliens usually wore in council chambers. "Sir, the council is hailing us," his communications officer said. "They're demanding we leave immediately. Tell them Ambassador is coming aboard their station, with or without their permission." Hand smiled. "And tell them we have 50 ships in jump range, ready to arrive if we call for help." That last part was a lie. Earth only had 12 ships capable of making the jump, but the Council didn't know that. On the Council station tried to maintain control. "We cannot allow this. They're invading our space." "With respect, Council Chair," the representative said, "they're doing to us exactly what we tried to do to them, and we can't stop them. They have military superiority in this region. Their ships are here, Ours are scattered or destroyed. Felt old and tired. Then what do you suggest? We meet with them, we hear what they want, and we try to avoid more war. Ambassador walked through the council station wearing a simple suit and a determined expression. Behind her walked Commander and 20 soldiers, all armed, all alert. The aliens they passed stared at them with fear and fascination. Remember, told quietly, we're not here to start a fight, we're here to end one. And if they don't want peace, then we remind them why attacking Earth is a bad idea. They reached the council chamber. The doors opened, revealing the enormous room where the galaxy's most powerful species made their decisions. 47 representatives turned to stare at the humans. Walked to the center of the room. She didn't bow. She didn't ask for permission to speak. She simply began. I am Ambassador of Earth. You attacked my world twice without provocation. You assumed we were weak. You assumed we would surrender. You were wrong. She looked around the room, meeting the eyes of each representative. Now let me tell you what's going to happen. Earth is claiming its independence. We will not be your tributary. We will not obey your laws. We will govern ourselves. Unacceptable, the representative shouted. You cannot. We can and we will, interrupted. You can accept it peacefully, or you can send more fleets to die trying to stop us. Your choice. Stood up slowly. You speak boldly for someone surrounded by her enemies. Am I? Asked. She pressed a button on her wrist device. The hologram in the center of the chamber changed, showing 3 star systems. These are the colony of the mining world of Thorol and the trade hub of Nexus Prime. All 3 have asked for Earth's protection. They're tired of council exploitation. They want independence too. The chamber erupted in shocked gasps. You lie, someone shouted. Do I? Pressed another button. Messages appeared from the governors of all 3 worlds, confirming they wanted Earth's help. General Hand's voice came through's communicator, loud enough for everyone to hear. Ambassador, we have ships in position around all 3 worlds, awaiting your orders. It was another bluff. Earth had barely enough ships to defend themselves, let alone 3 other worlds. But the council didn't know that. They saw human determination and assumed human strength. Sat down heavily. What do you want? Recognition, said simply. Accept Earth as an independent world with full sovereignty. Accept that we have the right to defend ourselves and our allies. Stop treating us like children who need to be controlled. And if we refuse, then we'll defend ourselves, and you know now what that means. His voice hardened. You've seen how we fight. We don't have the biggest ships or the best technology, but we have something you've lost, the will to do whatever it takes to survive. You fight wars from a distance, pushing buttons on consoles. We fight up close. We board your ships. We use tactics you forgot. We turn your weapons against you. She paused. Every time you send a fleet to Earth, it doesn't come back. How many ships are you willing to lose before you accept the truth? The council chamber was silent. Finally, the representative spoke. I move that we grant Earth independence and recognize them as a sovereign species. Seconded, said the representative quietly. Looked around the room. He could see it in their faces, fear, respect, and exhaustion, all in favor. Slowly, reluctantly, representatives began to raise their hands or appendages or whatever they used to vote. Not all of them. The refused, as did a few others, but enough voted yes. The motion passes, said quietly. Earth is recognized as an independent world. The Council will not interfere in your affairs. In return, you will not attack Council worlds or ships. Agreed, said. But we will defend any world that asks for our help, and we will respond to any attack on Earth or our allies. It wasn't a complete victory, it wasn't perfect peace, but it was something. 6 months later, Captain, not the same who died heroically, but his younger brother who had taken the same name in honor, stood on the bridge of Earth's first true starship. The Defiance had been just a captured vessel. This ship was built by humans, with human technology mixed with alien designs. He looked out at Earth, that beautiful blue and green planet, now protected by a fleet of 20 ships and growing. New ships launched every week. Dr. Myra's team had fully reverse-engineered the alien technology and improved it. Earth was no longer defenseless. "Sir, we're receiving a message from Colony," his communications officer said. "They're requesting our help. Pirates are threatening their trade routes." Smiled. 6 months ago, Earth had been alone and afraid. Now other worlds called them for help. Now humanity protected not just themselves but others too. "Set course for," ordered. "Let's show these pirates why attacking our friends is a bad idea." In the Galactic Council chamber, watched reports of human activities. Their fleet was growing. Their technology was advancing. Their influence was spreading. Some council members wanted to try attacking Earth again, thinking they could win with overwhelming force. "No," said firmly. "We tried that twice. We failed both times. We must accept that the galaxy has changed. Humanity is not a primitive species to be conquered. They are a powerful species to be respected, or feared." "You sound like you admire them," the representative said with disgust. "I respect them," corrected, "and I fear what will happen if we force them to show us their full capabilities. We've seen them defensive. We've seen them desperate, but we haven't seen them truly aggressive. We haven't seen what humanity looks like when they decide to conquer instead of defend." He looked at the other council members. "Do any of you want to find out?" No one answered. On Earth, General Han stood with Admiral Wu, Commander Dr. Myra, and Ambassador. They watched news reports of humanity's growing presence in space. Colonies were being planned. Trade agreements were being signed. Earth was becoming a true galactic power. "We did it," said quietly. "We survived." "More than survived," Han replied. "We won. We took our place among the stars." "And now what?" Dr. Myra asked. "What do we do with this power?" Han thought about all the people who had died defending Earth. Captain and his crew, the pilots who sacrificed everything, the soldiers who fought impossible battles. They had died so humanity could be free. "Use it wisely," Han said finally. "We defend those who can't defend themselves. We explore the galaxy with respect, not conquest. We remember where we came from, a small planet that refused to give up, that fought against impossible odds and won." He paused. "The aliens wanted to conquer us because they thought we were weak. They'll fear us because they know we're not. But maybe, one day, they'll respect us because we chose to be better than our worst moments. We chose to be strong without being cruel. Powerful without being oppressive." "That's a nice dream," Wu said. "Can we actually do it?" "We're human," replied with a smile. "We've done impossible things before. Why stop now?" Above them, Earth's new fleet patrolled the space around their home world. Humanity had taken their first real steps into the galaxy, not as conquerors, not as victims, but as equals. The galaxy would never be the same again. And somewhere in the Council archives, a new entry was made in the database of known species. Under humanity, someone had written a simple warning: "Do not underestimate, do not attack, do not assume weakness. They are fiercer than they appear." It was a lesson the galaxy had learned the hard way, and one they would never forget.